but my God, the pain. Look at that. Yeah, it's so swollen.
Careful, I know you want to jump up. Like, the hip feels great, the hip definitely feels brand new. Your boy is getting his staples out.
The journey for the worst recovery possible for a hip replacement continues. What is good, team? This is not how I wanted to intro the second vlog of this recovery, because I thought it was going to go well. But my God, the pain right now is no joke. Really sore, really sore. It's just constant ache, and if I was to give it on a scale of 1 to 10, it is 9. Like, it is so sore. I can't get comfy. I just had to double up my morphine, which is, for those of you that don't know, a very strong painkiller. So I've had to double it before the serving. I'm probably going to have to have a double serving again at about midnight tonight, which is just not ideal because you don't want to be too heavily reliant on pain medication. But I'm not even kidding. Like, just extending and curling my leg right now. It's just a joke. It's so tight. Like, even just standing up, I just can't get comfy. I just want to lie on my side. But, you know, I don't want to sit and complain. I just thought I would document this so you don't just see the highs, but you see the lows as well. So going into day 3 post-op. Day 3? Is it day 3 post-op we're going into? This is day 2 going into day 3. Yeah. So this is day 2 night going into day 3. Thought it was going to get easier, but it is what it is. You deal the cards that you've been dealt. Technically I haven't been dealt them because I chose these cards, but, you know, I just thought I would show that it is a bit sore. Hopefully when I wake up tomorrow morning you see me full of beans with a lot less pain than what we've got here. Catch you next clip. Yes, team, day 3 post hip replacement, and I know what you're waiting for. Am I still in pain? Absolutely. You know, the pain's actually getting worse, to be quite honest. The hip is great. Like, I can't even put into words how weird it feels to have more range of motion in my hip when I'm doing the exercises. Like, it's pretty wild. I can actually move my leg out to the side, and I've not been able to do that since I was 8. But the pain right now is off the charts. And I said this in the previous clips, but it's essentially because my leg's lengthened by 2 centimeters, and I didn't think it would have this much of an impact. But my God, like, every tissue in my leg, in my hip, is just killing right now. So when I lengthen my leg outwards, so obviously I'm not going to move this wedge because it takes ages to move it, but if I push my leg, you can see it shaking. If I straighten that and push the knee down, my hip flexor and this portion of my quad is just in agony. And then if I try and pull it up, my hamstring and like my IT band and my quad on this side just knacks, and I keep getting sharp pains in my hip. And I don't want to feel like I'm just whinging. I'm just giving you it raw and real right now. I just wasn't expecting to be in this much pain. Right, team, ignore the calamity that is this bedroom. It is a mess, but I'm doing my laps. Honestly, I don't want to make this YouTube series a complainathon, but I cannot put into words how tight my leg is. It is insane. Like, just lifting my knee up like that to do a step feels like I'm on, like, complete failure. On a leg extension, I feel like there's so much blood in there. It's a joke. But my plan of attack is, because I've just had a call off the physio, is that I've got to do a lap of the upstairs every hour, and I've got to sit upright rather than being in bed. To be honest, it all hurts, so whatever will stop the pain quicker. And I got told off for trying to do 1 crutch so early on. I said I was young, so I felt full of beans, and she said the age doesn't matter, it's too early to be going down to 1 crutch, especially with the posterior approach, which is where they went in my ass and not the front of my leg. Really mastered the art of the spinning. That's just what I've got to do. 2 crutches forward, try and put a good bit of weight in there. I
feel like I'm actually worse today than I was yesterday. I don't know if you can see my leg, if it looks tight or not. Do you want to come closer? You might be able to see on the camera. I don't know if you can see how hard. I'll show you the wound actually. I can't show you the wound. It goes from here to here. But like, I know you can't see through the camera, but it's just so tight right down here. Here's numb. Right in there is so tight. And I can't straighten that leg. Oh. That's what it is, like the hip feels great. I feel like I've got, this is one of my exercises, I'll show you the full routine later. I've got to bring my leg out to the side. I've never been able to do that since I was 8. So the hip feels great. But even that, just that gets a pump in my quads. So this one leg smaller than another. It's insane, the difference. But we just power through, take one day at a time. Hopefully, by the end of this week, the tension in my leg should have alleviated a little bit. I mean, if not, it is what it is, just deal with it. But it does get frustrating. And the pain doesn't even hurt, because I've had pain since I was, the best part of 8. So I've got a high pain threshold. I'm not really too bothered about the pain. I'm just frustrated that I can't do certain things, which is always going to be a task of mine, is to try and just relax when you've got a business to run. I've got 3 consult calls in today with new guys who want to join the team. Probably should have pushed them calls till next week, but I just love getting people transformations, so hopefully welcome them onto the team and they're seeing me go through this journey and it inspires them to get after it themselves, no matter what. That is the aim of the game, the slogan of the brand. No matter what you're going through, injury, disability like mine, job role, situation or starting point, you can get a transformation that you're damn proud of. Right team, so as promised, the exercise routine to get the hip back to its best. Now probably will have to put this in 1.5 or 2 times speed, because I'm not going to do much. We're very fast. But we have raises to the side. Oh. Like again, this doesn't hurt the hip. It's just so tight. But that is crazy how far that goes out now. I used to, if I would go out to here, my hips would twist. Whereas now, I can keep my pelvis still and I can actually fully adduct my leg. Which is mad. I've never been able to do that since I was 8. So 10 reps of this. Oh, it's the same here, but basically just dragging the heel up high as we can, and back down, up, and then back down. Now these are going to look like I'm doing absolutely butthole. I've got the thigh squeezes. Can you even see that? There we go. 10 of these bad boys. This one's the most pleasant one, to be honest. Right. Oh. Now this one is the most painful out of them all, and it's probably going to look like I'm doing nothing. This is the glute squeeze. Oh. So essentially, I just lie still, I squeeze my glutes. Oh. And this just is so tight. I wish you could touch through the lens and just feel how tight it is there. 10 reps of these. Now, just realised your boy's commando under these, so I hope that the camera's not picked up any explicit content. Right, now we've got the glute bridge. 10 of these. Right. Now we move over to the standing ones. I need my little scooper. And you scoop your leg. Well, that was hard work. And the key is you can't really be more than 90 degrees, so you have to kind of squat up and push up. Now I'm going to do the standing ones. Alright, now we're doing the kickbacks here, where essentially all I'm doing is kicking my foot back. I'll face this way actually, because I'll hit the bench. Grab that for stability. That's going back further than last time. I think I'm tipping forward though. I'm basically doing the same, but adducting but stood up. Just have to go a little bit further along. And look at that. That's crazy. And then last but not least, the hardest out of them all, which I have been doing first recently. And it's simply just trying to bring that knee up. It's so tight. This is why I've been doing this one first, because when it's fatigued, I can't even lift it up. And that's the exercise routine, 3 times a day. Going to try and push it up to 4, and then all I kind of do really is just trot around upstairs and do a few laps, stretch the legs, alternate between the bed and the seat. And that's pretty much my life right now for the next 7 to 10 days. Feeling a little bit claustrophobic right now, because it's the first day where I'm kind of fully out of the hospital. My head's back in the game of business, had a few consultation calls, and just being sat in like baggy pants, like not being able to shower. It's a little bit infuriating, but it is what it is. The other cards you've been dealt. I'll catch you in the next clip. Yes team, what is good? Day 4 post hip replacement. Still feeling a little bit like a train wreck. The hip is sore as anything, but I've woke up, had my pain meds, had my breakfast, and a few little steps just to make sure that the hip isn't stiff. And then I wanted to dive into some work because I've been getting sent some photos off the guys. While your boy's been immobile, Lee's been putting the foot on the gas. Like, just come have a look at this. So this is Arsenal over in the States. Let's show you his back. I don't know if this will load. He turns around. Look at that, man. Alright, that's insane how good his back is. Especially when you look at just a few months ago, he looked like this. That is wild. That's wild how good he looks. Look at that. Then we have Hayden. Look at this, man. That's what he was looking like. And this was 3 months ago. Look, he's clearly got a little bit of size there, carrying too much body fat. Really not happy with how he's looking. Damn, bro. That is wild. Then you've got Mr. Joe Watson, who I'll come on to in a second as well, and I'll show you Joe. To be fair, this fella's made YouTube before, because he did a cut just before December. Look at him there, take a good look. He's clearly got a good bit of size, but he's carrying far too much body fat. Wallop. Look at that! He's looking absolutely massive, and do you know what's even crazier? He's the same weight here, right, the exact same weight there, as he is there. Immense. He's lost all of his body fat. He's packed on some serious tissue. So the boys have been killing it, whilst I've been killing him, should we say. So it just gets us more fired up than ever to just get to work on the rehab and try and keep up with the fellas, because I'm making an army full of some absolute mutants right now. The transformations are just, the standard is just, I just love a transformation. It's just absolutely insane. Yes team, so the bruising hasn't half come out to play. Look at that. Say coming out right down the bottom. It's not actually that big of an incision really, when you think about it, but yeah, it's so swollen, like if you see it from the front on. Oh, and you can just see how much it's sticking out now. It's so swollen right now.
Tell you what that little incision was.
No, I don't know what that is. That's a bit odd. There's 2. I'll have to Google that. Oh, but yeah, it's so today's been one of them days where I've just been like looking at the clock, just waiting for it to be the next day. Oh, I did not anticipate to be in this much pain. I know I've said that. I feel like all I've done this whole YouTube series is complain about the pain. But I think it's just because in my head the last time I know how sore I was when I had the surgery, and I know how sore my hip is generally, and it is very sore. But I was expecting there to be significantly less pain, not 10 times more. And again, it's not the actual hip itself. Like, my hip feels pretty mobile, which is wild, but it's just the tension is crazy. So if any of you are thinking about getting a hip replacement or on your hip replacement journey, drop it in the comments to see if I'm just being an absolute bitch about this whole process or not. But my leg is just so tight here, so tight there. Like, even when I try and curl it up, hammy's so tight. Like that, it just doesn't go. Oh god, crazy. Hopefully tomorrow when we wake up, oh, scary. Hopefully tomorrow when we wake up, a little bit better. Catch you next one.
The journey for the worst recovery possible for a hip replacement continues. I've got a fever and I've got a high temperature, low temperature, high temperature. What is it? It's a high. Basically, I'm red hot, but I'm shivering. And if I look like this, you should see there'll be another clip that I managed to stay off as. I'm just fed up now. I just want it to go smoothly. I want the hip to be fine. I want to be able to walk. But I just keep getting kicked in the kahunas every day right now. But the good news is I'm feeling a lot better.
Temperature's fine now.
The temperature's finally started to drop to 37, which is normal. But I've got a little twinge of like shiver coming on, and the nurse is due to come out. So, good God, this has been a hard one, and it has. I was not expecting this. I thought I was going to be a demon on the sticks, straight out there, like up and down the stairs. But blood pressure, fever. I'm never, like, literally, I don't even want to see it. I was going to say I'm never poorly, ever. But since I've had this hip replacement, that's all I am, poorly. But is what it is. Hopefully, I've got an update for you tomorrow. I'm feeling full of beans, and the hip isn't as sore. Day 5, team, and it doesn't seem to be settling down. I can extend out, which is good. I'm trying to put it back in. It's so tight. Oh god, and I don't say this to blow smoke up my arse, but I have a high pain threshold since I'm birthy, since I was a kid, and this is no joke how painful this is. And again, it's not the hip. Oh, I say that doesn't hurt too much, but I can feel in here is stretched, like really stretched. Oh, I'm gonna do 2 of them. It's just getting fed up now. I thought I'd be up flying about by now. Oh. Can you rotate the board for us? This one's not too bad. Oh, this one's not bad. I can extend that, but again, as soon as I put myself fully straight, it's just right in here. So tight. The hip itself feels great, and for some reason, sitting like this is really, really comfy. But you cannot sleep like this in case, obviously, your legs just open out, which is obviously a risk what you don't want to do, because you'll dislocate your hip. But I really did not want to make this YouTube series me just complaining about how much pain I'm in, but at least it gives it a realistic perspective for anyone who's potentially going through a hip replacement or going to be going through one. What could happen? See, now this one's not too bad at all. It's a lot smoother, isn't it? Yeah. But I've literally watched so many YouTube videos like on the first week, and people say they're in pain, but it's not too bad. And again, I think it just goes back to the fact that my tissues have been stretched a lot longer than what they've ever been since I was 8-year-old. Because that's all the pain is, really. I feel it down the side of my leg, right in the crotch here, and then right on the front of the hip flexor. But this doesn't feel too bad, actually. And the good news is, I'll do one more of these. Is when I do my hip thrusts, I feel like these are really good because I've been doing these more frequently. Put this down there. I feel like I'm going to get quite high on these now. I'll just jinx myself. Hey, look at that. You hear a click though?
Click once.
Yeah, just click the ones. This is good because this used to knack my Perthes hip, and now I can do it,
Yeah, shaking as much.
which is good. This is supposed to do 3 times per day with the rest of the exercises, but when I'm just sat on the bed, I just thrust away. And that'll conclude the exercise for this clip. I'm going to try and go downstairs again and do a few laps downstairs. Try and sit on the chair and look out at the back garden as well, so I feel like I'm on holiday or something like that, because I feel trapped in this room right now. I think this is the hardest part about the whole hip replacement part of it. I mean, the pain is sore, but it's not the physical. I think it's the mental, because I'm back to work next week. You know, most people would have 6 to 8 weeks off for this. I've got to be checking in with the team, and I've already been stressed enough as it is, having a week off, not checking in with them, not like looking over them and stuff like that. So now I'm going to have to throw myself balls deep into that and manage this at the same time, which is going to be a task. But as always, no matter what, we get our shit done, bro. Good God, you guys behind the lens are seeing me at my absolute best right now.
How you feel?
I feel like a train wreck. It's just so frustrating. I think that's the thing that's working us up more, is it frustrating. Like, I feel tired, I've got a headache. And to be honest, I am still excited to get the hip replaced, but you know, you just want to be normal. You're just like, I wish I could just wake up and just turn on my side or just walk down the stairs. It's getting to us now, like, it really is. Especially when, I've got a throbbing headache and I feel like I'd fall asleep, but I can't fall asleep because I'm in so much pain. What life. Team, hope we're all good. So still day 5, and I'm actually excited to bring you a positive update because I've just had a little trot around downstairs. I feel a lot better on myself, and the pain levels, there's no wood beside us, but they're very, very low for the first time since I've had the operation, which is very, very exciting. It still hurts to lie flat and sort of straighten my leg out. It still feels super tight, but just sitting here now, the pain's probably is about a 3 out of 10, which makes a big difference from the 8, 9, 11 that it's been over the past few days. So hopefully this is the start of the recovery, or what I anticipated the recovery to be. So I'm feeling a lot better in myself. The pain is settled massively. The bruise now though, I mean, I can't show you now because your boy's commando under here, but there'll probably be another clip where I'll show you the bruising. It started off a little bruise, but now it's the whole side of the leg where the incision is. And strangely enough, like, that doesn't hurt. It is, again, just the tightness. I can't express enough. It is just the tightness when I straighten my leg out, when I bend my leg. The hip itself feels good. So hopefully, I'm anticipating by the end of next week, I'll definitely be on one crutch. I should be up and about and a lot more mobile, and hopefully I can progress my physio exercises, because the ones I've still got, they're still pretty difficult for us to do. But then from what I've read online, the next stage is to really build the strength up and do some step ups. Obviously not on a massive step, it'll be something like that. But I just thought I'd update you and give you actually a positive update that the hip is feeling a lot better right now at day 5. Day 6, and the bruising has really started to come out to play now. So I'll drop my kegs, I'll pull my boxes up. Look at that. Black and blue the boy is. But I really feel like today's been a bit of a turning point for us because, oh, look at that, man.
because I feel a lot better on myself. It's my first day back to work, doing check-ins with the guys, which has been a bit difficult, you know, having to sit on the bed. But I feel like the hip now is a lot more mobile. Like when I go down onto the bed, I'm straight in, and I just feel like I've got a lot more flexibility with the hip joint. And the main thing is the pain has somehow managed to settle down. Like even when I'm doing things like this, like jumping myself onto the bed, I'm just a lot more smoother with it now. Like that. Which is good. All good signs, all positive signs. Which makes a change from the first 5 or 6 days. But the hip, and another thing now as well, is like I was saying, the main issue with it all has been my tissues have been stretched further than they already have been by an extra 2 centimeters because of the leg length. But now I can actually lie here and put my leg fully straight, and I don't get as much of a pain as I have been getting in my hip flexor here. So I feel like the tendons and tissues are eventually starting to settle around the new hip, which is exciting. I'm actually starting to look forward to every day now, so I can see if I can actually improve, and eventually I do forecast by the end of this week that I'll only need 1 crutch, if at all. I might not actually need any crutches, depending on how much it hurts, because when I'm walking about, I'm using 1 crutch, sometimes 2, but when I do put weight on that leg, I do feel a lot of pain, tension should we say, in and around the hip joint, but hopefully that settles down. But I thought I'd give you a little update. So team, an update with the exercises. If you remember from the first ones that I did, this is my good leg, the exercise was trying to get the knee up like that, and I could only get it up to about here. Watch this, you ready? Hopefully I don't fluff this for the camera. Oh, look at that, look at that. Oh, that's loads better. I couldn't even do this with my bad hip before the replacement. Look at that, I mean that is tight like, but so much more fluid. Now if I do the side one, it might be worth you coming around, mounting over the bed, try and do the side one. I feel like I'll be able to go higher, but this leg's too tight. me good leg. That's wild. Yeah, the swelling's dropped down massively now. Because when I was doing this last time, my whole like inner thigh was just so sore. So I feel like I'm improving massively now. Really? It's just feels mad. I'm still sore, definitely sore, but it just feels mountains better than what it did. Even just yesterday, like yesterday was bad. I've got my hamstring curl now. Like even that, I just feel like my muscles have just got so much more movement and give. I feel like everything just felt so swelled up beforehand, whereas now I feel like I can almost fully move my leg. It's still really tight, sort of here and right here, but I think by the end of the week, once that swelling starts to go down, it'll be massive. Right, to the bed, do the bed exercises. And by the way, I don't know if you saw in a previous clip, I'm just pretty much cutting about in 1 crutch now. I still find it crazy that both my knees are the same height now. For the first time since I was 8-year-old, because normally it would be like that. Just feels mad. I'm like so much more fluid than that. It's still tight, but you're gonna get that ghetto booty. Nicki Minaj ass coming inbound. 1 week post surgery, and we've took a little bit of a turn for the worst. I'm not going to show you because explicit and whatnot, so I'll pull an image up on the screen. But I've got new bruising on the adductor, so the inner portion of my leg here, and I felt a twinge yesterday, which kind of triggered it on. And then like last night I couldn't sit, I couldn't sleep because it was so sore, and I'm kind of worried that I might have potentially tore some tissue. So I've messaged my surgeon, who's unfortunately on leave today. So I've messaged the surgeon's team, and they're going to hopefully get back to us. I'm reaching out to a few physios as well, just to get an idea as to what it could actually be.
And me being me, I always expect the worst, so I'm a bit worried that I might have to go in and get a scan and I've potentially detached something. It probably could be nothing. Probably could just be the initial bruising of the actual surgery, but in my head I'm thinking if I was going to get bruising there, I would have got bruising there straight away, the same as the outer portion of my leg, and with it really hurting yesterday, sharp pain, and then bruising straight after, it's just given me a good indication that I could have potentially damaged some tissue in the process, because my leg, as I've discussed in many clips, is a lot tighter than most hips who will get replaced. So this tissue was already stretched an extra 2 centimeters and causing us a lot of pain anyways, and it could very well have done something like that. And if that is the case, then your boy's going to need to get cut back open and reattached, and it'll be really sore, because yeah, it's not been an easy ride. But the good news is I went downstairs this morning. It was my mum's birthday, bless her. What a birthday present from me, being upstairs bedbound. And I could put weight on it, just nowhere near as much as what I did yesterday. So yeah, sucks. Then you've got a business to run on top of that, which is always difficult, juggling everything, because you've got to uphold the service, but then you're in pain. Any business owners watching this will know the struggle. It's a bit tough. So just going to try and do my best to do what I can today with the guys. Hopefully get some good news when it's reviewed, or if it is reviewed and I need to go in, I'll update you and I'll take you along with the journey if I need to go back in the hospital. But it's good, team. So back with the negative updates on the hip replacement journey so far. The complete polar opposite of what I was expecting to be able to document with this YouTube series, but I don't know if you can see now where I've got my leg, it's started to bruise internally here, which is quite concerning because there's no bruise, and it's just hurting to move deep there, and I'm really concerned that I've potentially tore something. It's like one of my biggest fears, tearing. Sorry, I'm just going to put this underneath. One of my biggest fears is tearing a tendon or a muscle, because that's a very, I've just been in for a major surgery, but a tendon recovery is a long recovery. So I'm really, really concerned if that is the case, because it's going to make the recovery a lot longer than what I anticipated. So in terms of how I'm feeling right now, the pain's alright. I mean, it's not alright, but I can bear with the pain. I think it's just the anxiety, wondering what's actually the situation down here right now, especially with my surgeon being off on leave now. I don't know how long he's off on leave for. I'm just a bit very stressed, very stressed right now. So hopefully when I get a message back from the hospital, it's some form of an update with what's going on. Positive update. I've just spoke to the surgeon there, and he's given us full reassurance that he has no concerns. He's looked at the photo. I sent him across the photo, and I described my symptoms to him on the call before he gave us the advice back, just to make sure that he was giving us the right advice. And he said, yeah, there's no indication that there is a tear naturally with the muscles being stretched, especially around this hip area. Well, everything around the hip. There is going to be some bruising, and he said don't get concerned if the bruising gets even worse, and it radiates right down the bottom of my leg, just because of the nerves, the blood vessels, the tendons getting literally stretched for the first time in years. So he said don't worry about it, which is the main thing. And I think that's what I was looking for, was just mainly some reassurance, because when you're in the mix of yourself, even though I know the anatomy and physiology of the body, like, it's a very emotional journey, and it's very easy to react based off your emotions. So as soon as I had that, like, pain last night, pain this morning, I couldn't weight bear as much. It's very easy to get stuck in your own head. So having that reassurance from the surgeon was honestly pretty much everything that I needed, and it made us question whether I was complaining over nothing. But it's still really, really sore. And I did describe that I had that twinge, what kind of set the bruising off. But when he's looked at the actual photos, he said that the bruising looks like it's been there for a few days, not quite new. So it might just been a case of, in the heat of the moment, I've been really stressed. I've looked at the bruising after I've hurt myself, and it's very, is it circumstantial is the word? Just coincidental. That's the word I'm looking for. It's very coincidental, the fact that I had the pain, I can't walk very well this morning, and I've got that bruise localised in the area that I've tried to connect the dots, when really
he was saying that's been there for a few days, and I just haven't got Haz to look at my gooch over the last few days. So yeah, all good news. He says just get cracking, back to normal. If I need to increase my pain medication, do so, just that, just to tolerate the pain. But he says the hips is as good as new. Just try and get back to walking as quickly as we can, and that's the plan of attack. I'm not too sure what day it is, team. I think it's day 8, 6. Nah, I got it done Tuesday last week. It's now Wednesday, day 8. Is that right? Day 7. Anyways, day 7, 1 week post surgery. Yeah, 1 week post surgery, and I'm now got to try and improve my walking gait. So what I've previously been doing is walking where I put the crutch in front and then I step to go through it. But what I'm going to try and do now is basically put the crutch forward, walk, and then let it follow behind us. That's my kind of plan of attack, what we're going to do now. So I'll give it a little whirl. So we go 1, that. Feels good, to be quite honest. So this is progression 1. Apparently, I still haven't sussed the turning. I feel like an absolute old fart turning like this. But that's progression 1. It's doing this. I'll follow you into the kitchen. As like so. Pretty good, this, isn't it? And then progression 2, I might just give it a whirl. Bear with us while I rotate. Is where you have each crutch go independent. So it's like this. I don't think I'm ready for that yet. I'll try. Actually, it's a bit more difficult. I feel like it's a bit too tight of an area to do that. But good news is it's definitely improving. Loads better, that, isn't it? Yeah, I think I might actually, you might see us on the next clip, going outside. Yeah, I can definitely do that quite comfortably. It's a lot easier, because I've got more of a base of support. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to fall over. Yeah. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to try and do this, and do a little lap somewhere and see how many steps I can get away with. How about that? Nice little positive update that I wasn't expecting to be so positive this early on. Yes, team, what is good? Day 9 post hip replacement, and we're starting off the day with an ice cold OG White Monster. It doesn't get much better than that on a nice morning like this. And as you can tell, I'm full of beans. It's my last heavy check-in day in the business as well, and the guys are flying. I feel like I'm not necessarily flying, I'm not walking very fast, but I've just took a monumental turn in the recovery process, and as you saw from the previous clips, like, I really have been as flat as a pancake, to be quite honest. I did not anticipate the recovery to be as difficult as it has been mentally and even physically. Like, I can tolerate a lot of like pain, a lot of discomfort, but damn, it has been tough. Like, I'd be lying if I was just trying to put on a brave face instead it hasn't. But I'm really excited now on this clip because we're going to let the little Fluffteeny out the cage, and I keep walking past him and he's in his cage, bless him. I see his little white eyes looking up at us, and I just want to give him a little stroke, but he is a bit crazy. So we're going to have to try our best to control this, and hopefully it doesn't cause any damage to the hip. And I'm locked in here to the table, so he can't jump up on this right side. We're going to have to be firm, just get him to sit here, and hopefully he does as he's told. Come here.
Oh,
Here we go. Stay there. Here we go. Careful, I know you want to jump up. Look at you shaking like crazy. Oh, I know, I love you too. Okay?
Who is it?
Love you too.
Who's that?
Okay, chill out. That's a good boy. It's okay. I love you too. Hey, come here. Oh, is that good?
It's been good.
He's a good boy. Being good for the camera. Huh?
Doesn't
Here we go. Here we go.
What?
Good boy, ain't you? Is that nice? Best team, so ignore the fact that I've got the world's worst haircut right now, but a pretty monumental moment because we're going to go for a walk outside and Haz is currently helping us put my shoes on. And I was like, oh babe, is my insole in there? But we don't need this anymore. So, which is just absolutely crazy to think that this is just no more. And I'm actually going to be able to put shoes on. I'm going to go for a walk outside without this for the first time in 20 years. It still hasn't really hit us that it's happening, which is fucking crazy. It's nice to get some fresh air, but it just feels so wild to have my foot in this shoe with no insole in. Like, I feel like I've just got so much space. I feel like I'm starting to really get the benefits now of, I mean, to be fair, it's probably not the best terrain to be doing this on. It's pretty crazy. I'll have to try and get over these stones first. I mean, probably it's not the best terrain post-hip replacement. Let's go. Oh, now I'm on a decline. Yeah, I would just go straight across. It just feels so good to be able to do this outside.
Quite fast.
I know. Feels crazy. It's just mad that I feel like my legs are normal length without the insole in. After needing one for the last 20 years. It's pretty crazy. Getting some mileage on the hip, it's nice. Oh, I'm honestly over the moon. Does wonders for your mental health, this. Just being able to actually get out instead of being stuck in that bedroom. This is a bit of a weird one, going downhill on a decline. Oh. Good God, we've not picked the most. It's flattest terrain to walk on, mine. Good God. Well, day 9 post-hip replacement. And your boy's cutting about outside for a decent walk on incline and decline. So, what a positive day so far. Feels nice. Just to get some fresh air. I've not been out of the house for 9 days. Just sat in the bedroom, working, eating, not having a shower, like a proper shower. It gets in you, it affects you a lot mentally. And it does wonders just being able to get out and have a little walk and being able to kind of see things progressing in the direction what you hoped is all I can kind of ask for. But it just feels mad to just be stood here with a pair of trainers on without an insole in. I've wanted it since I was 8-year-old. Well, obviously when I was 8-year-old I had bigger fish to fry because of the initial disease, but since I could walk again I've always wanted to be able to walk without an insole, and now I can, 20 years later. It's pretty crazy, but I think we'll have to keep walking because the legs season up a little bit. Yeah. I have a feeling it's going to be sore after this. It's the most I've walked in ages. Oh, I can do it, but I feel the hip getting a bit tight right now. Yes, and now the good day continues. It was a successful outing outside. I'm sat up and I'm ready to work, and we've got ourselves a new little desk. Oh, I just feel like life's good right now. The little things. It even has this little extender as well, so it brings it like sort of closer to my face. Little cup holder, so if I want to put this bottle, if I can't be bothered to go down there, I can just have it there. I have my little boot on here as well, so I can write my notes even though I'm left-handed. But I just feel content right now. You know, the little things, celebrating the small wins because they compound over time. But I just feel, because over the last few days I felt really like dirty, and obviously it's not like the house or anything like that, but like, you know, you just can't move. I've got loads of hair on us, I need a haircut, can't shower properly, I can't move, get outside. You know, you just feel a bit run down with is just something as little as going out on that walk, having pretty much a full, proper shower today, sat in a new environment, should be sitting on a desk. I just feel so much mentally sharper and so much more productive. I'm just I just feel great. I'm excited for my hip. I'm excited to get back to my best. I'm excited to drive the brand forward. We've got a shoot in 4.5 weeks' time. All of the guys are looking insane. Like, honestly, over the next few videos, you're going to see a lot of the guys who are like 3 and 4 weeks out looking insane. I think I showed you James in one of the other clips or one of the other videos. You know, we've got the best part of 20 fellas looking all insane, doing me proud while I'm recovering and walking the walk themselves. And, you know, as always, proven no matter what, you can get a transformation that you're going to be proud of. And speaking of transformations that you can be proud of, watch this space, because when I fully recover, keep your eyes peeled, because the last shoot I looked good, the next one I'm going to look even better. So team, literally just about to jump on a testimonial call with one of my clients, Ashnell. This is that client. Look at that man. Literally just over 5 months work here. When he first started looking like this, clearly not liking the way that he looked and felt. That is a joke. Like, look at that, man. That is insane. Insane. So yeah, just about to jump on the call, and obviously you saw the photo. Now you're going to hear from his mouth how he's found the process so far, because we finished the cut literally next week. I'm peaking him this week. Peaking him from Monday this week, and then we're going to wrap up the full transformation.
I definitely am like wearing clothes that I've never worn before. When I went to my old college town this past weekend, there's an event called Picnic Day, and it's basically just the whole town celebrates. It's typically like in middle of April, so it's like nice and warm. When I was in college, I was kind of a fat ass, so I was wearing like a little bit bigger clothing. But this time, I took a shirt of like my college T-shirt, and I cut the sleeves off like as if it was a gym shirt. And I was walking around like the whole town. We were all just walking around town. Everyone's like looking at me like, who the fuck is this guy with this like college shirt with the sleeves ripped off? And but yeah, it was nice. I took some, like, my friends were taking photos of me and stuff, and they were like, dude, you look like ripped. And I was like, well, thanks, man. Like, this is the first time I'm experiencing this, so I don't really know what to do. But it's been really nice mentally to just kind of know that I've put in the work and it's paid off, and like I look good. I probably look the best that I've ever looked in my entire life.
And that wraps up one hell of a work week with one hell of a client and one hell of a testimonial. It's honestly unbelievable to know that I'm playing a pivotal role, or have played a pivotal role in someone else's life, to have such a significant impact that it's had. To just hear him even say that, he's finally got the validation that he felt like he's always wanted in himself since he was a kid. And people that, who he saw from, obviously he's across the waters in the States, elementary school, and they've known him growing up as, Fat Ash, or, Big Ash, or whatever. And now they're coming up to him and they're inspired by his gym journey, wanting health and fitness advice, seeing he looks good. And it's just crazy. Again, he's from the States. Like, I'm sat here, and what started as an idea in the northeast of England, recovering from my first surgery, not my hip replacement, to help as many people as I can, has amassed into this global brand where I'm helping people worldwide. Is crazy. It's crazy, and it's something that I'm truly grateful for, and I always will be. And yeah, it leaves you on an absolute buzz, man. Just looking at his physique gets us a bit jealous, to be quite honest. He looks like an absolute stud. But yeah, you'd think after coaching well over 700 people that this feeling would wear off. It doesn't. It doesn't. It feels the exact same when someone first comes on board. My first ever client, to Ashnell, who's client number 720, I don't know, over 700, is just, it's insane. It's insane. Like, they inspire me to want to push myself to become a better version of myself, man, and that's what it's all about. But over and out, work week done. Day 11. I'm definitely feeling it today after going on 2 excessively long walks yesterday. But I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I got miles on my hip, because I feel like I've just got so much more mobility now. So this movement, if you remember from day 1, I could literally just do this, and it really felt so tight. Ready? Like, I know this might not be a big deal to some, but for the past 10 years, I've not been able to just lift my knee up without having pain, like right at the top of my hip, because of the way my hip's shaped. So this just feels wild to me. I've got no pain in my hip at all. Like, it's pretty hard to put into words, to be honest. Like, it used to feel like it was like catching and grinding. Yeah, and nothing now, and I feel like I could like
Oh.
just.
You could probably get in the shower. Get over the bath.
Yeah. I think once I get me little pad off, I'll be able to go in the shower. That feels wild.
Too cocky.
I'll not do too much. I walked too much yesterday and I'm a bit sore, so.
Immense.
Yeah. So my trusty camera assistant is leaving us for the day. Just going to go and have a good time because I've been doing a head in. So I've got me little medication all laid out. Ignore that. That's not steroids. I mean, I wish it was because I feel like a small fat pudding right now, but got it all organised. Nice little day of just chilling and focusing on mobility. I honestly think, because I've got a meeting with the physio, it's called the hip physio. He's like, obviously specialises in hips, hence the name, on Tuesday next week. So I'm excited with that because I really want to take a more hands-on, aggressive approach with the rehab. Obviously I've been doing the exercises, been walking more, but I want to get back to, I was going to say my best, but technically I should be better than I ever have been, rather than my best, because my best wasn't actually that good with my hip. So it'll be interesting to see what I'm going to be able to do. I'm going to be able to do a split squat, which is mad. Like, I've never done a split squat. I've had a good attempt, 1 or 2 attempts in the past, probably 10 years, but I've never actually fully done one because it just clicks in my hip and it hurt. So being able to do one of them, like a Romanian deadlift, a squat, it's going to feel pretty crazy being able to do all of that, to say the least. I mean, I'm not going to do it constantly because I don't want to wear the hip joint out, but I'll definitely do 1 or 2 just to feel what it's like without pain. That would be pretty crazy. And yeah, this skinny ass leg will become a tree trunk. Yeah, and I was saying this to Haz last night behind the lens. I'm going to do a photo shoot prep after this, and I can't wait to document the process. I might eat me words when I say this might get clipped later down the line, but I think it's going to be the easiest cut that I've ever done in my entire life, because I'm going to have 2 normal legs. And all you guys who watch this complain, I'm coming for you. Day 12, I think it is. Day 12 post-op, out for second walk of the day, and it's only 11 o'clock in the morning. Starting to feel a little bit cooped up in the bedroom now. It's getting quite hard to operate the business lying on a bed, and then you sit on the chair, and you lie on the bed, and you sit on the chair, and then you're uncomfy. It's just starting to get quite irritating now to have the headspace to be able to like clearly think on, you know, what I want to do to drive the brand forward. I've got a good idea, obviously, with the shoot coming up in terms of we're going to be doing this, we're going to be doing that, but yeah, just getting a bit fed up with the environment now. Well, not necessarily the environment, just how I've got to live within the environment. It's just starting to suck ass. But in other words, or other good news, should I say, I can walk pretty comfortably with one. To be honest, I actually find it easier to walk with 1 crutch than I do with 2 crutches, which is pretty wild. I think it's because when I've got 2, because this leg feels longer, I feel like I'm like leaning over on it. Whereas with the 1, I feel like I'm distributing my weight between this leg and the crutch evenly. I feel it's a lot easier, to be honest. So, not even 2 weeks post-surgery, and your boy's cutting about on 1 crutch. Yeah, maybe he's going out for 2 walks in the space of 2 hours is probably not the most advisable this early on in the replacement, but I just needed to get out, to be quite honest. I'm feeling it now though. Having to resort to the crab walk, whatever the hell this is called, I can't remember what it's called. I know. I just can't wait to just be able to just walk now. I mean, I'll never regret getting a hip replacement because obviously the pain I was in prior was just so bad. But I think because I'm so immobile now and in a bit of pain now, I'm just like, if I just didn't get this, I would be just chilling. Like, well, I wouldn't be chilling to be honest, but I would just be able to just balls deep in the business. And at the minute, I kind of, and it's just in a rut this fine Easter Sunday. But oh, happy Easter! Yeah, it's Easter. Yeah, I'm not really an Easter guy.
Not a chocolate guy.
Yeah, I'm not a chocolate guy. I never really eat chocolate to be honest, which is wild. I like chocolate flavoured stuff, but not really much of a chocolate guy. I'm more of an ice cream. Day 13 post hip replacement, and your boy doesn't need his second crutch. So I've been trialling all morning, just walking on one crutch, and it doesn't hurt at all. To be honest, it feels spot on. Like the hip feels great. The hip definitely feels brand new. You can tell it's been replaced. It's just the only issue that I've got, which I've had this whole kind of process, is just the tightness. And it's mainly just tight right around the incision area, going down into the IT band and the quad. I just feel like when I do a fair few steps, it just has a bit of a nasty pump. And if I'm being honest, right, I could probably do no crutches, which is pretty crazy to say the least. Like no crutches, 2 weeks post hip replacement. But when I do that, it gets really tight really quick. So I'm more than likely going to have to push the 2 crutches, or no crutches should I say, back until the end of this week, so 3 weeks. But madness, 3 weeks post hip replacement, I'll be on no crutches. Less than 2 weeks, I'm cutting about on one crutch. Starting to feel the benefits of this now. It's been a rough recovery, to say the least, but I'm feeling a lot better now. What is good, team? It has been officially 2 weeks since I've had my hip replacement, and we've got some exciting news today. Your boy is getting his staples out, and I'm going to be able to go in the shower. I probably could have got in the shower before this, but I just really wanted to make sure that the wound was just perfectly healed before I started faffing about and jumping in the shower. So I just got a call off the nurse there. She's coming out, she's going to remove the staples, and then I might treat myself to a little bit of a midday shower. You know, it's 12 now, but I might just dive in there because your boy is feeling like an absolute mong right now. Look at the state of that hair. It's probably the worst my hair's been in time, but no, feeling good. In terms of an update in regards to the hip, I think yesterday, because you probably saw from previous clips, I was cutting about on just one crutch, and I still have been today, but there's been a lot of stiffness in the hip. However, I've got a call with the physio at 2:15 today, and I know I've banged on about him a few times, but I'm really excited for it because he's a specialist in the area. So I'm going to have him hopefully put together and formulate a plan of attack so I can get back to my best as soon as possible. So I'll document that process as well. Exciting times, exciting day. I really feel like we're taking a good monumental step forward in terms of progress, and hopefully by the end of the week I'll be on no crutches, and then the week after that I'll be running a marathon. Maybe it's not that much, but I'll be back to my best soon. Yes, team, so the staples are out. And how about that for a little war wound? Look at that, there's like 2 incisions. They did like a little one here, I don't know what they did there. But that isn't actually too bad. It's only really like size of that. It's quite small. It's in a good location as well, because when I've got shorts on, you're never going to see it. So once that bruising settles down, it'll look top. Yeah, crazy. That's all they've done to replace a full entire hip. But excited. I'm now able to jump in that bad boy today. I just need to get one of them little chairs where you can kind of sit in and spin. I need to practice spinning that way because I had to do it there for the nurse coming, and it was a little bit of a struggle. But we'll get used to it. We'll get better. Overall, it's crusty dusty like.
Don't touch it.
Anyways, now I've got my physio appointment in basically 2 hours. So exciting times. Excited, hopping on a call with the physio. I'm just excited to have an action plan to get back to my best.
Oh, Zach.
Hello, buddy.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thank you for moving the appointment. You've done me an absolute solid.
I'm 29 now.
Yeah, so you've done well, really, to put up with it for so long. If you're 20, if you had, yes, yeah, you've done well. The Perthes ones can sometimes be very, what's the word? Well, like, it's like unpredictable is probably the best way to say it, really,
Yeah.
because it's like more, well, you know better than anyone. It's almost like when. It's not if, it's when, and that's, I guess, contextual. So
Majority of the time when I hop on calls with people now, it's always just like, oh, your story's inspiring and your results, and that's kind of where it's stuck really. I lean on to, you know what I mean. I want to help anyone if I can do it with a disability, then you know you can do it if you don't have one or whatever you've got going on, and people just seem to resonate with that.
how are you sleeping?
Terrible, mate. Not gonna lie. Yeah,
It's hard, isn't
I'm
it,
a
to, like,
side
not move.
sleeper. I'm a side sleeper, and I'm always on my back now, and it just kills us, mate.
It's too, yeah, it's hard work, man. It's hard
So
work when you're trying to like
I don't know if you
force
can.
yourself to sleep in a position that's not normal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
Well, so it's just really tight around here,
Yeah.
more so, but I can walk pretty fast.
So this looks okay, yeah. So, but you're saying it would have been really like a bum out, spinning your leg around, leaning to the side.
like that.
Yeah.
If I still had my old hip.
Yeah.
Whereas now, it feels pretty crazy. I don't get any pinching or impinging in here, whereas I used to with the Perthes, it would just knack there. It would be so sore.
Yeah.
But my hip feels great since I've had the replacement. It is just kind of the tensions around here, and sort of, 'cause this is where the incision is. It's actually insane to think the progress that you make from the 2 week mark onwards. Like, if I'm looking back at all of the clips across the YouTube and everything that I've filmed since the hip replacement, I didn't think I would be progressing as well as I am at this point. So you saw that I had a consultation with the physio, and that honestly just let my confidence go through the roof because I got the reassurance from someone who's an expert. So what I wanted to show you was just the exercises that we're going to be doing from now up until the end of the week. And he was even saying that I'm going to drop this crutch altogether by the end of the week, which I do agree with because I can walk around pretty much no problem without it now. It just gets a little bit tight. But the one thing what surprised me was this movement here. So he actually gave us 2 cushions, then he said the progression was going to be 1 cushion, then none. But I'm already on 1 cushion, and I've never been able to do this since I was, well, my whole adult life, is be able to squat without getting pain in my hip. And if I come back now, nice slow controlled 3-second negative, and up. I'm still driving a little bit of weight in my good leg, but that's just insane. So I've got to do 3 sets of 12 of these, and then rather than just show the whole clip of us doing all them, I'll show you what else I've got to do. So I've got to pull the pillow off the chair, and then again, I've never really been able to do this, but I've got to lift my leg up and chap the top of that. I've just literally got that for stability. I'm not even putting any weight on it. I've just got to lift it up, tap the top of the chair, which is pretty wild. And the other exercise, let's move the chair out of the way. Now I normally would put something on the floor, but I'll not do it for the purpose of the video. Now this is wild. I've never been able to do this since I was 8. So basically, adducting the leg away from the hip. And what I'm doing now, just again using this for stability, lift my leg up, watch this, to the side, tapping something, up, back down again. That's wild. I've never been able to do, like I would have to kind of turn with it. And now I'm sat lifting it right out to the side. And I've just never been able to do that. Which is pretty cool. And then the other one is just practicing how to walk, because I've never been able, well obviously I've walked since I was 8, but I've always had an insole. Whereas now what I'm having to do is just actually learn how to, you know what I mean, walk normal. So what I've got to do for this exercise is basically try and put a lot of weight on the operated leg and go in sort of 0.5 speed, taking a step, using the crutch for stability, and then 0.5 speed on the way back until eventually I don't really need the crutch, which, to be honest, I don't really need already. And then the last exercise, which I'll not show you, is essentially me going up the stairs, but using my right leg rather than my left. And they're all the exercises. It's just pretty wild to think that, you know, I'm up and down, I'm squatting, I'm putting weight through this leg here, just off a call. You know, I probably could have done it beforehand, but having that reassurance has been insane. So now the goal is to progress myself up by the end of the week, have no crutch, be able to walk up and down the stairs, remove the toilet seat and everything like that. And then after that, he was saying, you know, we'll get into a bit more complex movements where, you know, I'll probably be squatting down deeper and deeper, potentially progressing onto something like a split squat, which again for me seems wild. So I can't wait to take you all along with the journey. That is 2 weeks post hip replacement, and I'm already doing stuff like this. I can't wait to bring you along for the journey when I can do even more things, such as leg workouts.